Welcome to today's challenge, team challenge by World Pro Racing. The October special event from World Pro Racing, the G2 challenge at Mugello. Today we'll be having 30 minutes of practice, 15 minutes qualification, and then we'll see a 60-minute race where we have a pit window, which will open when there are 35 minutes remaining to the end of the race, and it will close 25 minutes remaining from the race. Together with me today, as usual, Justin, and with me, Adrian, will be following our today's race. In a minute, we'll be going for briefing with the drivers we're having here today, and following which we'll see some unofficial practice going on, and then we'll pass on straight away to the official practice, which will start at 8 o'clock sharp. So, would like to thank our sponsors. We have the stream powered by Melita, GT Omega Racing, and also Text. Would like to thank also Gaming Malta for their support to World Pro Racing as our new sponsors.
Shout out to the guy who helped me out there. I was absolutely learning as I went along.
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
Evening.
Thank you for being here. So this is the briefing, live briefing of today's race. As you know, the G2 team challenge that's going to take place at the Mugello circuit. So I'm going to do the usual briefing we do. It's important. We always say that we don't restart any session unless there is a situation of a huge pileup or possible server disconnection. Something very, very important, take care of the first corner, especially if you have teammates next to you or behind you, and for everybody else. So the penalties of the platform will apply, and we have also will be reviewing any irregularities also after the race. We'll be reviewing today's. Who's doing this noise?
Not me.
Sorry, it's me. It's me, 4-month-old son. He wants to be a part of the race.
Okay, so today's race will be reviewed, and the penalties will be reviewed after the race, because unfortunately we suffered some technical not problems, but there was a thunderstorm earlier here in Malta, and we have some computers which suffered some substantial damage to that. It's important that you observe the blue flags and you defend in the right manner.
Yeah.
As I said, the race format will be a 30-minute practice, followed by 15-minute qualifications and a 60-minute race. The pit window will open 35 minutes from the end of the race up to 25 minutes from the end of the race. That is, you have a pit window of 10 minutes. It's important, obviously, that everybody pits in that pit window. Otherwise, the game will just disqualify you from the race. At the end of the race, we'd like to see all drivers to proceed on the pits, not any drivers disappearing from track or doing any funny moves on track. And it's important, please do leave your Discord on push to talk to avoid disturbance, in this case, to your teammates on your own channel. Please make sure that all the teams will join their respective. You can choose one of the channels we have on, so every team can stay there. We have channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, etc. So, do we have any questions?
I have one.
Who's that?
Wayne Francis.
Okay, yes.
You know when we do a pit? So when we do the mandatory pit,
the mandatory pits, the pit
do we have
window
to
open.
do we have to change tires and fuel, or can we just drive through?
You have to make a minimum of 1 liter of fuel. That's the
So you have
minimum
to
you can
stop.
do. So you have to stop, do 1 liter
Okay.
minimum of fuel, and obviously then rejoin the race. That's the
Cool.
minimum you can do. So
Cool. That's fine. Thank you.
any more questions?
No, pretty clear, mate. No worries.
Great stuff. So it seems everybody is happy. So good luck, everybody. Will be anyone on track can keep on practicing until the official practice will kick off at 8 o'clock, which is in 7 minutes time. Thanks, and
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
so for those that have joined us right now, we just did the drivers briefing. Today we have GT2 Team Challenge brought to you by World Pro Racing at the Mugello circuit. We have 2 cars that will be used today. We have the majority of teams running on with a Ferrari GT2, and we have, I think, 1 or 2 teams running with the BMW. Today's race format will be a 30-minute practice and 15 minutes of qualifying, following which there will be a 60-minute race with a mandatory pit windows of 10. In 6 minutes time, we'll be going live with the practice session. That will be a 30-minute practice session followed by a 15-minute qualifying session, and then we'll have the 60-minute race. So in 5 minutes time, we'll be off with our official practice. So we're going for a brief commercial break. We'll be with you.
Gigabit Internet issa f'Malta. Gawdi mill-Giga Power biss mal-Melita Flexi.
So welcome back. We're gonna follow. Is there anybody on track? Actually, I don't think there is anybody right now practicing. So I would have told you we could follow some unofficial practice, but right now there's nobody on track. So it's the GT2 Team Challenge at the Mugello circuit by World Pro Racing. In 4 minutes time, we'll be going live with our official practice session of 30 minutes, then followed by 15 minutes qualifying session. As always, would like to thank our sponsors. The stream is powered by Melita. Thanks also to GT Omega Racing, Textor, and Gaming. So, official practice is on. We'll be joining the track now, and we'll see what will be happening. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers already on the server. We're expecting more to join the server now. As we said, the official practice has started. We're going on board with Omar Barbara, who's on his outlap with the Ferrari GT2 on this pretty cool circuit at Mugello in Italy. So we're now with 8 drivers on track. Obviously enough, we're gonna have more drivers joining us. As I So, welcome once more to those who have just joined us now for this team challenge, the October special event from World Pro Racing here at Mugello Circuit. Today we have a G2 challenge, team challenge, with 2 cars available, which are the Ferrari GT2 and the BMW GT2. I think majority of the drivers and teams have chosen the Ferrari. So we'll see the outcome of this race of today. We have already 10 drivers who has joined this practice session, who started approximately 4 minutes ago. Today's format, as usual, have a 30-minute practice session followed by a 15-minute qualifying session, and then we have a 60-minute race with a pit window that opens 35 minutes from the end of the race until 25 minutes practice till the end of the race. That is a pit window of 10 minutes. All drivers are it's an obligatory pit stop. It's an obligatory pit stop today for all the drivers, unless they do the pit stop and make a minimum of 1 liter refueling, then they get automatically disqualified. World Pro Racing will also be publishing very soon the special race for next month. Justin here with me, his brains have been already working very hard, even though we sustained some substantial damage that we found out actually the day after some thunderstorms we had here in Malta. We got some damaged PCs and even some lightings at our new studios. We'll hope to get everything back and running very soon.
Actually, we managed to have something still working. We managed to have some computers still working. The live steward PC is gone. hopefully not, but it's not booting, so yeah, unfortunately we have some damages in our studio in the lighting.
So we hope to get everything rolling very soon, but these things do upset us, but don't stop us. So here we are. Today, unfortunately, as we said, due to this setback, we'll be looking at reviews for any penalties to give after the race. As usual, as we tell all drivers, if they have any anything to report to us that happened during the race, because obviously sometimes we won't be able to follow every single action, especially the day that we're have our steward to see, which is down. They are free to do so after the race to report immediately, and we are here to review such reports and issue any penalties accordingly after the race. So, as we said today here for this World Pro Racing special event with the GT2 cars here at Mugello circuit, great circuit to race, and I think it's a circuit which is liked by a lot of drivers themselves. So I think we're going to have an enjoyable race here. We have 12 drivers who joined this practice session, which was running now for almost 7 minutes. Practice session with a total of 30 minutes, and then we have a 15-minute qualifying session, followed by a 60-minute race with a mandatory pit stop of 10 minutes. Any drivers failing to do that pit stop will get automatically disqualified from the race. So now we're following S4's Sim Racer, which actually I forgot what is his real name. Wayne Francis, a new driver with World Pro Racing.
He's the teammate of Ozzy Stick.
Okay, great. He's the teammate of Ozzy Stick. Ozzy Stick was with us also in the last team challenge. So, but I think he's the first time he's racing with us. We'll see the outcome of this race. We have some times already which have been registered. Omar Barbara with a 1:47.664, followed by Daniel Stramer with a 1:47.995, and Les the Elephant with a 1:48.345. Then we have also Josh Martin with a 1:48.442, and Mark Puck. I hope I'm pronouncing his surname right. The Aussie Stig with a 1:49.539. So let's see who's on track. There is Daniel Stramer, who's doing this lap. Doesn't seem it's a better lap than his best time registered till now, which is a 1:47.834. And following him also from on board with his Ferrari GT3. Oh, GT2, sorry. I'm just confused with some other races I was following. Actually, real races. So we'll see Daniel Stramer, who's currently just 1/10, almost 2/10 above his best time till now on this lap. So, let's see with Daniel Stramer if he managed to make a better time than his best time of a 1:47.834. And that's a no, it was a 1:48.155. So the best time till now, after 10 minutes of practice, is of Omar Barbara with a 1:47.664. followed by Daniel Stramer with a 147.834 and Terence Beck with a 148.334, Leslie Oliphant with a 148.345 and Josh Martin with a 148.44. So first three drivers, good to say that they are coming from GT Omega RPM eSport team. So we have Omar Barbara, Daniel Stramer and Terence. Then we have Leslie Oliphant from RPM Racing and also Josh Martin, who's from V Racers team. So we have now Garrett Crawford, who make the best time with a 147.440. He's coming from Simtech RPM Sim Racing with his teammate Sean Loray. Then we have also, as we said, another team, which is the Stick Racing, which is made of Mark Puck and Wayne Francis. Then we have Secured RP Matt Cape team, made up from Jason Absmeyer and Leslie Oliphant. Our friends from Greece, which are Theodor Kapourniotis and George Nempis. I think it's the only team running with the BMW. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, in fact, the Team Greece is the only team that they have chosen the BMW. In fact, the Ferrari is much, let's say, not fast. It is faster, but both of them the same were racing each other. But obviously the Ferrari is quite much stronger than the BMW, and if you don't do a good setup for the BMW, you might be at the end, at the back of the grid.
Yeah, but our Greek friends stuck to their choice, so that's great also, because you were here to have fun also, apart from obviously trying to win. So that's the good part also about sim racing. Then we have Omar Barbara from GT Omega RPM eSport 2, who's running on his own today. We have Terence Gregg and Daniel Straymart from GT Omega RPM eSports 1. And then we have Josh Martin and Lux Peklai, which are the VR racer with Trustmaster. And unfortunately we had the Abrunosas, who couldn't join us today.
Unfortunately, yes, they had some issues. We have also Itamar Yatif, who has issues, and his teammate, who is not sure that he's joining or not, but they had issues with the internet connection. And while we're at it, we can say that Jason Absmeyer just did his best time of 147.288, so, and following by Garrett Crawford. So Omar now went back to third position. It's good to say that in the training sessions they went down even below the 47s. They did 146s. So compared to what we have in our current times, they can do better. There are drivers who can make better times. Let's see how they do. Obviously the qualifying that matters, because practice, alright, it's just a practice, but obviously the qualifying, then the tension starts to build up and people start doing mistakes, so they have to be very focused. And it's one of the things that we focus on, being professional in our races. That's what World Pro Racing do. It helps drivers to be professional and have a good image on the internet, and obviously helping those promising drivers that we can lead them to race in real life as well. Not even that, if they want, they can keep in esports and become professional in esports, not just because there are people who just want to be professional in esports and they have no intention on racing in real life.
That's very right, Justin. Obviously enough, as Justin said, being a good driver on your own on track, practicing at home, it's not enough. You need to be able to handle the pressure during a race. Pressure of drivers close to you behind, pressure of overtaking, concentration to try to make the best laps and obviously the best driving lines possible. And also the way you can present yourself, talk, discuss, even with commentators on internet. You have podiums and you have interviews. So I think being professional is a whole package. That's what we believe in, and that's what we do here at World Pro Racing, getting such drivers up. One of the outcomes of World Pro Racing was also Bernard Vella with a great result back in the ADAC Sim Expo in Germany, where he managed to beat Brandon Lee, who's the 2017 F1 Esports champion, with fractions on track, but fractions do make you win a race, where he managed Bernard Vella to snatch the first place in the Wave Italy challenge they had there in their Formula car. So you need to concentrate, be determined to obviously try and beat the best drivers around in sim racing.
Yes, and that's been the target for us since we started as Sim Racing Malta. For those who maybe know us as Sim Racing Malta, we started as Sim Racing Malta, and then we had to launch our international branding, since people from anywhere, we can say, in the world, from South Africa, we have even from Australia, they communicated with us, Japan, UK, Italy, USA. We have quite a lot of different countries that visits us and joins our races. So yes, we have quite a lot of events coming up next year. Many, we are still planning out various events that are coming up, and obviously we have mentioned already the Grip Championship that we will very shortly launch the promo that we have edited for you, and then we launch everything with how the qualifications and stuff like that will be later on this month. So stay tuned, make sure that you follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch to keep up with the latest news, and obviously you don't miss any live streamed events. And yes, that's basically it. Obviously
we'll be back also with our weekly live shows very soon.
Every Wednesday.
Now we need to repair the damages we sustained in the other studio, but anyway, it's something minor. We can try and even sort it out ASAP, so that we'll be back with our weekly live shows on Wednesdays, where we have some updates with upcoming events from WPR, general updates what's happening in the world of sim racing, and also some product reviews we'll be having at hand. So stay tuned and be with us.
We must also say that tomorrow we have the final round of the Porsche Championship, which it was started in January. We had the qualifiers in December, November, December, and then we started with round 1 in January. The winner of this Porsche Championship will win a Porsche on track experience at the Intercity track in Istanbul, which is worth over 3,000 euros, and the driver, the overall winner, is going to drive various types of Porsches in Istanbul. So this was it was the first one. It was the first prize that we have given to the sim racing community, and this is not, it's not the first and it's not the last. We already told people that we have the Grip Championship, where the winner is going to have a full testing day in Varano, Italy. So this is the second prize, and we have much more events coming up, not just only online, but we already launched that we are opening our simulation center, the academy in Malta, where people can come and we teach them on how to race well, being professionally, not just racing the car on your own or just having fun. Fun is part of our game, but it's not enough. We organize professional events and we make drivers with a good image in a professional way.
Yeah, sure. So Justin said we're looking for a busy 2019. Very busy 2019. Still planning also new things apart from what we have already planned in the pipeline. So keep on following us to see what's coming up from World Pro Racing. And also, as we said, we have the Academy, which will be also launching some news about the Academy and what's going to happen. And also we have some offline events which we'll be announcing very soon when we'll be in some offline events with our simulators, and we'll have some great challenges. So back to the race. Right now Garrett Crawford, as Justin said earlier, is running the best time in this practice session with a 1:47.036, followed by Jason Absmeyer with a 1:47.171 and Omar Barbara with a 1:47.664, and then we have Daniel Stramer with a 1:47.834, Leslie Oliphant with a 1:47.946, Josh Martin with a 1:48.267, and Terence Grech 1:48.334, Ossie with a 1:49.539, Speed Force Sim Racer with a 1:50, and then George Memphis with a 1:51.668, Theodoris Kapurniotis 1:53.656, and we have Sean Loreiro with an 18-minute left. I don't know why, but
He just had a Sunday drive.
Luca Peklai also joined us. Luca Peklai, I think, is the teammate of Josh Martin. Yeah. So we're now again on Garrett Crawford, who's, I think, doing a lap. He has the best time of 1:47.0364. So we'll see if he'll manage to do a better time after his outlap, because I assume this is an outlap with a 3 minutes 15 seconds. So with 7 minutes remaining in this practice session, as Justin said earlier, practice sessions don't mean too much, but can give you an approximate idea of the possible outcome in the qualification session, because obviously in the qualification session it's a shorter session, pressure will be on, you'll have more drivers simultaneously on track, because obviously everybody will go out to try to make as much laps as possible to clock the best time and get the best placing on the grid. So we'll see what's gonna happen in like 7 minutes time then from the qualification session. We're now following Jason Absmeyer, who has a 1:47.171. We have now 5 minutes left in this practice session of today's challenge by World Pro Racing Team Challenge. the GT2 team challenge. We have two cars, the Ferrari GT2 and the BMW GT2. Actually, all the teams have a Ferrari except from our friends from Greece who are running a BMW GT2. As Justin well said earlier also, the Ferrari is a little bit faster on this track unless you have a very great and good setup on the BMW. I think it would be quite a slow car on this track, but we'll see. A lot of our friends are here to have fun, so obviously in a professional way. This can lead also for these drivers joining us to be present with us also in our upcoming championships with a very busy 2019 from World Pro Racing. So keep on following us for upcoming news, especially with the launch of our next championship, which is the Grip Championship, and many more championships for the year coming up. So also tomorrow you can join us for the last round of the Porsche Championship to see who will be crowned champion of this championship this year. The first championship from World Pro Racing with a great prize, because the winner will be going to Turkey, Istanbul, driving approximately around 7 different Porsches on the Intercity track. Also this weekend follow us and have a look at our live streams, where we will have something different. We're gonna have drivers from the real cars doing sim racing event, so sim racing race. So we're gonna have the real drivers who drive in the Grip Championship in Italy will be taking the challenge, going in a simulator and challenge each other this coming weekend with World Pro Racing. So that is something you'll definitely don't miss and have a look at.
And it's good to mention also that the real championship and the virtual race that we're going to do this weekend is part of the real championship. So if the points that they're going to get from this virtual championship is going to be part of the real championship. So this is not just for fun race, but Tamir Placzynski, the director the CEO of Grip, decided to do this virtual challenge to the real drivers. We must say that it's this championship, the real championship of Grip, is growing, and we're very interested, thanks to Tamir, who we communicated together and discussed that we will do not just the championship, but we're starting to collaborate as well in virtual challenges that the real racers will be doing very, very often. This is the first one, so Adrian will be live stewarding the race. So Adrian is going to live steward. He's going to monitor the race for real drivers this time as well. So it's very important, because if something happens, the drivers are going to complain. You know what it means to complain.
Actually, there will be the whole procedure. It will be definitely interesting for even sim racers that do take part in our championships to follow such a race, because we will see definitely these drivers, if anything happens on track, following the procedure to make the right protest for the stewards to review. So it's gonna be something definitely interesting, where we're seeing the real world of drivers, the real world drivers of the Grip Championship, taking it into the virtual world. So follow us. Boom, there was a crash in the last minute of this practice session. So as we said, follow us this weekend, and for more to come about this Grip Championship and collaboration World Pro Racing is having with Grip.
So it's important just for you to know, if you're very interested in watching the Grip virtual race with the real drivers of this the real championship racing in this virtual race, we're going to be starting on Saturday. We're going to have the practice starting at 6 p.m. Malta time, and then on Sunday we have 2 races, 2 qualifyings and 2 races on Sunday at 6 p.m. as well. So make sure that if you had any plans, just cancel them and watch our race, because it's much important to see this race.
Yeah, definitely, it's gonna be something very, very interesting to watch. So, practice session is now practically over. Yes, that's right, we're on overtime. There are just 1, 2, 3, actually 3 drivers, yes, 4 drivers, sorry, that still need to go over the finish line in this practice session. So, standings are as follows. We have Garrett Crawford with the best time in this practice session with a 1:47.018, followed by Daniel Stramer with a 1:47.145, Jason Absmeyer with a 1:47.171, Terence Greg with a 1:47.542, Sean Laureiro with a 1:47.560, Omar Barbara with a 1:47.664, Leslie Oliphant with a 1:47.946, Josh Martin with a 1:48.267, Luke Pecklai with a 1:49.043. We have Mark Puck, I am the Aussie Stig, with a 1:49.539, Speed Force Sim Racer with a 1:49.841, George Nempis with a 1:51.668, and Theodoros Kapounotis with a 1:52.365. So, we'll wait for Omar Barbar and Daniel Stramer to finish their lap, obviously in the overtime, and then we'll be going straight to the qualifying session, which is a 15-minute qualifying session, and we'll see how these drivers we have today here with us will get their positions on the grid. So overtime is over. We're now going for, we have a countdown of 1.5 minutes, so we're going for a short commercial break, and we'll be with you back shortly.
Gigabit Internet issa f'Malta. Gawdi mill-Giga Power biss mal-Melita Flexi.
So, welcome back. For those that possibly have joined us now, you're watching the GT2 challenge by World Pro Racing. This challenge of October, brought to you by World Pro Racing here at the racetrack of Mugello. So, we'll be soon going for the qualification session, where we'll have 15 minutes of qualification. Then today, the format of the race is a 60-minute race with a pit window starting 35 minutes from the end of the race till 25 minutes till the end of the race. That means they have a pit window of 10 minutes, where all drivers, it's mandatory for them to pit in that pit window, at least to put a minimum of 1 liter of fuel and go back out to race. Unless they do pit in, obviously enough, they get automatically disqualified. Definitely it's gonna be an exciting race. So the qualification session is actually on. We'll see who will be the first driver going on track. I cannot see yet who's the first driver going on track, so we don't have. Let's see who's the first one. Justin. Okay, we have actually a lot of drivers going on track. Is that Leslie Oliphant? I think Leslie Oliphant, yes, is the first driver on track for this qualification session. It is long 15 minutes. Let's see what these drivers will manage to do and their position on the grid today in this GT2 challenge.
Unfortunately, not all teams are in with full grid. Unfortunately, Omar Barbara his teammate is missing, so obviously, unfortunately, he cannot make. He's still going to race, but obviously, he cannot manage to get enough points to win or to get a podium, to get at least a podium. Unfortunately, things happen. People have their jobs, their work, and obviously jobs take priority before racing. It's very important because these things, people have to appreciate what we do. We take time to organize these events, so make sure that when we organize an event, make sure that you are available, not to take other people's place, and then we turn up with a few drivers. So thank God we have 13 drivers today. We had more, but unfortunately we have the Israel team racing as well, the team Israel racing, who are missing as well because they have problems with the internet connection. We had the 2 drivers also from Michael Abrunosa, who are missing as well. So, but still, it's going to be a good race. I think we have good drivers. We have our team GT Omega Racing. There's the Autistic team. There's Josh Martin with V Racer team along with his teammates. So we have the RPM Sim Racing team as well from South Africa. We have good amount of drivers who are capable enough to race and do a good challenge to the other drivers. We have good amount of drivers who are capable enough to race and do a good challenge to the other drivers.
As well said by Justin, definitely we'll have an exciting race today. Good drivers on track. We have some drivers that have joined us for various events we done previously. So let's see what the outcome will be. So we have the drivers who are doing their first laps, because obviously the times we're seeing are actually all of out laps. So let's see who will register the first time, which I think is Los the Elephant, because he's the first one out on the grid, on the track. So Les the Elephant will be registering his first time. We're following now also Josh Martin from V Racer and Trustmaster team. Here on track, we're on board with Josh Martin now, who registered his first time also with a 1:47.685, but the best time till now is by Daniel Stramer with a 1:47.554. Sean Laureiro did the second best time now with a 1:47.678. So Josh Martin is in third place right now with a 1:47.685. Then we have Leslie Oliphant with a 1:48.313. Also Stig Mark Buck, which is a 1:48.313, and followed by, now actually we have other drivers now. We have the best time registered by Garrett Crawford with a 1:47.347. Daniel Stramer is in second place now, and they have Terence Gregg who registered also the third best time with a 1:47.610. So now the drivers are registering their times. You see that Omar Barbara didn't yet do a lap, and even Jason Upsmeyer. So Omar Barbara actually did the best time now with a 1:47.336. So Omar Barbara is now leading this qualifying session with a 1:47.336, followed by Garrett Crawford and Daniel Stramer. So today this G2 challenge here at the Mugello circuit in Italy. G2 challenge, team challenge by World Pro Racing. GT2 challenge by World Pro Racing. So I'm going from GTs to GT3s and GT2s. But anyway, it's a GT2 team challenge today with a choice of two cars, which is the Ferrari GT2 and the BMW GT2. Actually, all the teams have chosen the Ferrari, which is performing very, very well on this track today. As we can see now, there is Omar Barbara with the best time in this qualification session with a 1:47.336, followed by Terence Gregg with a 1:47.338. Both drivers from GT Omega RPM Esport, Omar Barbara GT Omega RPM Esport 2 and Terence Gregg GT Omega RPM Esport 1, followed by Garrett Grefford. Garrett Grefford coming from Simtech RPM Sim Racing, and then we have also with the fourth best time Sean Laureiro. Sean also from the Simtech RPM Sim Racing team, and then we have Daniel Stramer, GT Omega RPM Esports 1, and then we have also Josh Martin in 6th place right now with from VR Racer and Trustmaster team. Sean Laureiro now registered the best time with a 1:46.985. So as Justin predicted and said in the beginning, we had drivers with 1:46s on the server in the training sessions, and here we go that Garrett Crawford managed to do the first 1:46 time with a 1:46.842. So the first two drivers in this race are coming from the Simtech RPM Sim Racing team, followed by Omar Barbara from GT Omega RPM Esport 2 and Terence Gregg from GT Omega RPM Esport 1, Josh Martin from V-Racer and Trustmaster team, Daniel Stramer from GT Omega RPM Esport 1, Leslie Oliphant from Secured RP Medcape team, Jason Upsmeyer from the same team with Leslie Oliphant and Luca Peklai coming from the V-Racer and Trustmaster team, together with the Aussie Stig and Speed Force Sim Racer, both from the Aussie Stig Racing team, and also the last two drivers, George Memphis and Theodoris Kapouniotis from BCR Team Greece. So there we go, both drivers from the Simtech RPM Sim Racing are now in the 1:46s with a 1:46.842 for Garrett Crawford and Sean Laureiro with a 1:46.985, followed by Omar Barbara with a 1:47.336 and Terence Gregg with a 1:47.338, Josh Martin with a 1:47.361, Daniel Stramer with a 1:47.554. So we have actually 6 drivers in the bracket of actually a little bit more than half a second, so that surely gives a good indication for a great race today. So we have both Garrett Crawford and Sean Laureiro now, who have the best times with 1:46s. Both of them are the pits. Omar Barbara on track. We have also Mark Puck, the Aussie and Mark Puck, the Aussie who's also in the pits, possibly making some setup or refueling or changing tires. We'll see. So here is Omar Barbara, who is registering another lap. Let's see if he managed to make a better time. So we have in third place now Jason Upsmeyer with a 1:47.257. So we're seeing that all drivers are getting their times better and better from each lap. Let's see Omar Barbara now, definitely let's say slow lap for him with a 1:49.400. So we'll see if he managed to get a better time in this lap. Now we're on board with Omar Barbara right now, seeing him and going around this great racetrack here at Mugello. So in the provisionary pole position, I have Garrett Crawford with a 1:46.842, followed by Sean Laureiro with a 1:46.985 and Jason Upsmeyer with a 1:47.256. So as we can still Garrett and Sean are still in the pits, and we see that the rest of the drivers are back on track to try to better their times. Jason Upsmeyer is running a slower lap, first sector, at least 1/10 slower than his best lap. Let's see if any of the drivers will manage to better the times and obviously beat the best times of Garrett and Sean, and grabbing the top spot in the grid today in this qualification session. We have only 1.5 minutes left in this session, so let's follow closely these drivers to see if they'll manage to better the times and get a better grid position. Now we see Josh Martin doing his possible last lap now, as we have only 39 seconds left in this qualification session. As we can see, both Garrett and Sean, yes, stayed in the pits, but we see now Jason Upsmeyer managed to get the second position with a 1:46.935. So Sean Laureiro now is in third position. And Omar Barbara is back to pits, possibly keeping happy with his position in this grid of today. We see that now 6 seconds left in this qualification session, so definitely the drivers that are on track have to finish their lap now, and the ones that were in the pits actually with no time. So we'll see if anybody on track will manage to make a better time than Garrett Crawford, who currently holds this pole position from this GT2 challenge by World Pro Racing today here at Mugello Circuit. So Garrett Crawford with a 1:46.842 has the best time, so getting pole position, followed by Jason Upsmeyer and Sean Laureiro. But as you can see, there is still Terence Gregg, Daniel Stramer, and Speed Force Sim Racer together with Jason Upsmeyer still on track. We're following Terence Gregg, who's gonna finish his lap just now, and let's see what time Terence can manage. Yes, he managed to do the fourth best time. So Omar Barbara loses his fourth position to Terence Gregg. So Terence Gregg with a 1:47.314 with his best time in this qualification session, taking third place. So it's confirmed Garrett Crawford is the pole man of today in this GT2 challenge, followed by Jason Upsmeyer and Sean Laureiro. Fourth position is Terence Gregg. Omar Barbara 5th position, Daniel Straymar 6th, Josh Martin 7th, 8th Leslie Oliphant, 9th Luca Peklai, 10th Mark Puck Barbara, 11th Speed Force Sim Racer, and the last two places there is George and Theodoris from Greece. So we're going for a short commercial break, and we'll be back with you very, very shortly. So we're back, 50 seconds wait time, and then we have another 3 minutes before the start of today's race, World Pro Racing GT2 Team Challenge here at Mugello Circuit. We have 13 drivers with us today. Unfortunately, we have drivers that couldn't join us due to some technical issues they had. We had the team from Israel who were suffering some connection issues with their internet, and also we have the team from the Absmeyers, the Abrunosas, who for some technical reasons didn't join us also. It's good to say that friends from Greece, especially Theodor Kapouniatis, had some issues with his PC, but he managed to install his Windows in time. So they're here with us also today. So let's go through the starting grid of this race, 60-minute race with a pit window at the 35th minute from the end to the 25th minute from the end of the race. That is a 10-minute pit window where all drivers are obliged to make a pit stop with towing also a 1 liter of fuel. So pole position by Garrett Crawford, followed by Jason Absmeyer on 2nd, 3rd Sean Laureiro, 4th Terence Gregg, 5th Omar Barbara, 6th Daniel Straymar, 7th Josh Martin, 8th Leslie Oliphant, 9th Luca Peklai, 10th Mark Puck, I'm the assisting, 11th George Nempis, Speed Force Sim Racer, 12th George Nempis, sorry, I did a mistake, yes. Actually, it's Wayne Francis, which is 11th, which is Speed Force Sim Racer, 12th George Nempis, and 13th Theodoris Kapouniatis. So we are like 1 minute 40 seconds away from the start of this race. We have, obviously, as you can see, that remember to add minimum 1 liter of fuel or do a tire change while the pit window is open. So all drivers are also have their in-game notification about this pit window. When the pit window time will come and it's open, also they get an on-screen notification. So they do their pits within those 10 laps, within those 10 minutes they have today. The pit window will open 35 minutes from the end till 25 minutes from the end of the race. That is a 10-minute pit window where all drivers have to go to pits and make their 1 liter of fuel, or else do a tire change. So 47 seconds away from the start of this GT2 Team Challenge of today, brought to you by World Pro Racing. Garrett Crawford, pole position, followed by Jason Absmeyer, Sean Laureiro, Terence Gregg, Omar Barbara, Daniel Straymar, Josh Martin, Leslie Oliphant, Luca Peklai, I am the assisting, Speed for Sim Racer, George Nempis, and Theodoris Kapouniatis. So 10 seconds away from the start of the race. We're gonna wait for the lights, and here the lights are coming on. Lights are on. Let's wait for the lights to go out. Lights are out, and here we start this race with Garrett Crawford and Jason Upspire on the front line. Let's see what's gonna happen in the first corner. Let's see if the cars manage to go through in a clean way. It seems to be a quite a clean corner, yes. So we see Jason Upspire and Garrett Crawford, which are side by side. Jason Upspire is on the outside, and let's see, they are still side by side. Obviously they're also holding up Sean Laureiro, who's just behind them. So and then we see the first crash there. We'll be reviewing this crash obviously later to see if there was any major fault by one of the drivers. So we saw Josh Martin involved in this crash, but we'll definitely review this crash later, and we'll see what will happen, if there's any penalties to be issued. So Jason Upspire up front, followed by Garrett Crawford, Sean Laureiro, Terence Gregg, and Daniel Stramer. We say also Daniel Stramer very close to Terence Gregg. We'll see if he will be overtaking Terence Gregg. We remind you that they are both coming from the same team. We see also Omar Barbara, who possibly was involved also in that crash with Josh Martin, because he lost quite a few places, Omar Barbara. And we'll see now we're having the grid taking shape again, because here in Assetto Corsa we need to wait possibly for the first lap to pass, so that we have the right times and grid. So we'll see the first car going over the finish line is Jason Upspire, followed by Sean Laureiro, Garrett Crawford, Terence Gregg, Daniel Stramer, Leslie Oliphant, Ossie Stig, Luca Pecklai, Omar Barbara, Josh Martin, Speed Force Race, and George Memphis. We see here now Luca Pecklai, who's and Speed Force Racer, who's very close to Josh Martin. And we see also now Leslie Oliphant, who's definitely in the slipstream of Terence Gregg. Let's see Leslie when he'll be making his move to try and grab 5th place from Terence Gregg. So we have Jason Upspire in the lead of the race, followed by Garrett Crawford, but right now we're on board with Leslie Oliphant, who's getting close to Terence Gregg, and we'll see if he will make and when he will make the move to try and snatch 5th place from Terence. We'll see also Daniel Stramer on the attack of Sean Laureiro. Daniel Stramer, there he tried to attack Sean Laureiro, but he backed up obviously enough to avoid any possible touch. Daniel Stramer very close to Sean Laureiro. We see also Leslie Oliphant very close to Terence Gregg, and Omar Barbara close to Luca Pecklai. Let's see also Leslie Oliphant, and we see here an overtake by Daniel Stramer on Terence Gregg. And we see also that Daniel Stramer registered the fastest lap with a 1:48.095. So let's see, Leslie Oliphant 5th place, Terence Gregg is just behind Leslie Oliphant, and we'll be following also Josh Martin, who's trying to overtake Omar Barbaro. So a slight touch, some touches which actually are permitted and do happen in such GT races. And again, this is definitely a pile-up done and caused by Omar Barbara, which is something we'll be definitely reviewing, which is in the 56th actually minute of the race, something we shall review after the race, because from the first view I managed to get, it's definitely there could be place and enough reasons to issue a penalty to Omar Barbara. So we see also Jason Upsmire, which is very close up to Garrett Crawford, and also Josh Martin close to Speed for Sim Racer. Omar Barbara is quite back now following the accident he possibly caused with Josh Martin. So we're on board with Jason Upsmire, who's following closely Garrett Crawford, after Garrett Crawford managed to grab the first place from him. Let's see if Jason Upsmire will manage to make up to this and get close to Garrett and possibly also take the lead of the race. So we see Jason Upsmire, which is like half a second away from Garrett Crawford. This is and we see also Josh Martin, which is very close to the Aussie stick. Mark Puck, let's see if Josh Martin when and where will try to challenge the Aussie stick for 8th place. Josh Martin very close now to the Aussie stick. We see Josh Martin exploring possible corners to make the move on the Aussie stick. You can see that yes, now he is side by side with the Aussie stick, and Josh Martin managed to take the... Not yet, they're still side by side here. You see a nice battle between Josh Martin and the Aussie stick, and there Josh Martin manages to get the 8th place from the Aussie stick, and we see also Omar Barbara coming up to Speed for Sim Racer. Let's see if Omar also managed to... Yes, as we see, Omar Barbara managed to get the 10th place from Speed for Sim Racer. Speed for Sim Racer not giving up on Omar, and we see a wide, badly damaged car for Omar Barbara there. Speed for Sim Racer is not giving up on Omar, and he's trying to follow him closely and try to take back his 10th place. We see also the Aussie stick getting close to Sean Laureiro, but you can see that it's still possibly too early for the Aussie stick to challenge Sean Laureiro for the 8th place. Garrett Crawford still at the lead of the race, followed by Jason Upsmire with a gap of approximately 6/10. I'm gonna get an update of the gap now, which is still on 6/10. Then in 5th place Daniel Straymar, 4th place Leslie Oliphant, and 5th place Terence Gregg. It's interesting now that after the race, as we said today, unfortunately due to some damage we sustained with a thunderstorm here in Malta to our PCs and also lighting in our studios, we'll be reviewing some incidents after the race and issuing relative penalties. Till now we saw 2 possible incidents that we need to review. One happening in the first lap and another happening in the 56th minute of the race. First one involving Josh Martin, and second one also involved Omar Barbara. I think both of them.
They were involved in the
I think both of them, both incidents are involving the same drivers. So we'll see later on. I was not sure about the first incident because obviously it was a little bit back on the view I'm getting today here, but definitely the second incident, it's involving Omar Barbara and Josh Martin. We'll be reviewing that after the race and issuing any electric penalties accordingly. So Garrett Crawford increasing his gap on Jason Upsmeyer. So Garrett Crawford is gaining ground on Jason Upsmeyer. Then we have Daniel Stramer and Leslie Oliphant, Terence Gregg, Luca Peklai, Josh Martin, Sean Laureiro. The Aussie Stig, which actually was very near to Sean Laureiro, but now we see that the gap went up to 3 seconds. Then we have Omar Barbara, Speed Force Sim Racer, Theodoros Kapouniotis and George Lampis. And we see fastest lap by Garrett Crawford, so with a 1:47.598. So Garrett Crawford is now obviously taking advantage of a free track in front of him and making best laps.
Taking advantage of a 10 points as well. Because who does the fastest lap, they have 10 points extra at the end of the race. So
that's right, it will be like a bonus, yes, for the fastest lap. So let's see if he'll manage to keep up to this.
There is also points for those who did not do any accidents or was not involved. I think not Joshua or Josh Martin or Omar, they're not going to win this for sure.
Yeah, sure. Both incidents that we managed to see now involve both these drivers, so definitely they won't be the ones to take those extra points from us for doing a clean race. So as we said, Garrett Crawford leading this GT2 team challenge by World Pro Racing today here in Mugello circuit, followed by Jason Upsmeyer. We see also Josh Martin coming up to Luca Peklai. Luca Peklai, which is actually the teammate of Josh Martin, which he is very, very close to him. Followed also very close by Sean Laureiro. So Sean Laureiro there locking up, so to avoid any collision with Josh Martin. We'll see this challenge. We'll be seeing these three cars very close up together. We'll see when Josh Martin will be challenging his teammate Luca Peklai, and we'll see if Sean Laureiro can take advantage of this also battle between teammates to close up to them and possibly snatch a better time. We'll see also Garrett Crawford registering a best lap now again, once more bettering his time at the 1:47.536. So yes, Garrett Crawford is going very fast. We see also now Sean Laureiro, as I said, closing up to Josh Martin, and Josh Martin trying to take up the place from Luca Peklai. You see Josh Martin, who was actually flashing the lights to his teammate. We'll see if that means, listen, try to give me some space, because I have Sean coming up behind me very, very closely. So who knows, they might have some team orders.
Like Hamilton and Bottas.
Yeah, that's right, some team orders going on, possibly. Yes, they can do that. They're talking on their own channel, but you see Sean Laureiro now. He's actually on the tail of Josh Martin. So we're seeing Sean Laureiro taking advantage of this possible battle between teammates, and even possibly Luca Peklai might be keeping a little bit back Josh Martin. But we see that now the real battle is like, yes, these cars. We see again Josh Martin flashing the lights to his teammate. Well, we'll see what's going to happen from this battle, but we see also the Aussie Stig very, very close to Omar Barbara now. Actually, it's the closest battle. Let's see if the Aussie Stig manages to snap. Now, grab the 9th place from Omar Barbara. Sean Laureiro getting up close to Josh Martin. Josh Martin losing some ground on his teammate Luca Peklai. Let's see what's going to happen. But we see here, I am the Aussie Stig Mark Puck very, very close to Omar Barbara. Sean Laureiro now it's 1/10 bit away from Josh Martin. Actually, I think they are side by side now, and there he is, Sean Laureiro taking advantage of this theme. Let's see, Josh Martin. Oh, there was a slight touch there. Let's see. And Josh Martin managed to get back his place with that slight touch, possibly. Who knows? So that is 45 minutes into the race. 15 minutes into the race. We make a short note to review that slight touch after the race. But we see now still Luca Peclai in front, Josh Martin sandwiched in the middle, followed by Sean Laureiro. And Sean Laureiro, we can see, has a badly damaged front end of the car. So we'll see. He's coming back up to Josh Martin. He's taking back the challenge on Josh Martin. We see that he went slightly wide there. Obviously, that will make him lose some ground on Josh Martin. As we can see from the timing, yes, he's up to 6/10, 7/10 of a second now gap with Josh Martin. But let's see, he will definitely not give up. We're seeing Josh Martin also following closely his teammate Luca Peclai. We'll see if he'll be flashing again the lights for his teammate and see what's happening. So some team orders going on Discord possibly. And Sean Laureiro once more closing up on Josh Martin. We see that Aussie Stig lost some ground on Omar Barbara. So the closest challenge we have is between these three drivers, Luca Peclai and Josh Martin from V-Racer and Trustmaster team, and then we have Sean Laureiro following them very closely from Simtech RPM Sim Racing. So, Sean Laureiro closing up on Josh Martin, Luca Peclai. Let's see what's gonna happen. Sean Laureiro very close to Josh Martin now. You see? Let's see. Sean Laureiro closing up again on Josh Martin. Very, very close now. He's not giving up. Sean Laureiro was obviously on the front of the grid earlier on. You see also Josh Martin flashing the lights to his teammate. Who knows what's going on between them. Josh Martin going wide and Sean Laureiro not taking advantage of that actually. So let's see if Sean Laureiro will be taking the 6th place from Josh Martin. And you see that up front there could have happened something, some possible error by Garrett Crawford, as we see now Jason Upsmeyer leading this race, followed by Garrett Crawford with a 2-second gap from Jason Upsmeyer. So possibly Garrett Crawford had did some mistake in his race here, as we are closely now following this tight challenge between Sean Laureiro, Josh Martin and Luca Peclai, where we see Josh Martin flashing the lights for his teammate for several times during this race. But we'll see now what's gonna happen. So the lead of the race is now Jason Upsmeyer, followed by Garrett Crawford in 3rd place, Daniel Stramer. 4th place, Leslie Oliphant. 5th place, Terence Gregg. Luca Peclai in 6th place. 7th place, Josh Martin, and 8th place, Sean Laureiro, who's trying to challenge Josh Martin for the 7th place. 9th place, Omar Barbara. 10th place, Mark Park, I'm the assisting. 11th place, Speed Force Sim Racer. 12th place, Theodoris Kapurniotis, and 13th place, George Nempis. We're gonna see that the pit window will be opening in like 5.5 minutes from now, and then there is a 10-minute period for all the drivers to go to pits and put a minimum of 1 liter of fuel or make a tire change. That's up to their own choice what to do, but they have to go to the pits and make that minimum, unless otherwise if they don't do that they are automatically disqualified. So we're still following this challenge from Sean Laureiro on Josh Martin, which is a gap of 3 to 4 tenths, even 5 tenths, but it's sometimes closing up to 2 tenths. Possibly also seeing Sean Laureiro now closing up on Josh Martin. Let's see if he'll be taking up. And then we see them side by side again. Sean Laureiro with a slight lead here. Let's see, but Josh Martin managed to keep his place. Sean Laureiro again going close to Josh Martin. We see some quite amount of damage on these cars. You see, and after they were involved in some possible crashes at the beginning of the race. Something that we'll be reviewing after this race today, as unfortunately, as I said earlier, we have sustained some lighting damage to our PCs and studios, even the lighting in the past few days. Something we didn't manage to resolve for today, just working on our PC again tomorrow to get it alive again, one of them. So actually I have 2 PCs down with this lighting stack, but we'll see what's going to happen. So Sean Laureiro now, we see that the gap between Sean and Josh Martin has increased to approximately 6 tenths now. There is no imminent possible threat for Josh Martin. And another thing, Josh Martin is not managing to get close to his teammate Luca Pecklai. You see George Memphis at the end of the grid, I think possibly now side by side with his teammate George, with side by side with Todoris Kapourniotis, and we see that George managed to grab the 12th place from Theodoris Kapourniotis. Obviously Todoris is not giving up. You see him there hard braking in the corner, some late braking possibly to try and catch up with his teammate. The only team running BMWs here, actually they knew it's a little bit slower than the Ferraris, but they stuck to their choice. Possibly they like BMWs and enjoy it, and they are here obviously to increase their experience in our races, professional races done by World Pro Racing. We see that now the gap between Josh and his teammate has increased to approximately 1 second, and also the gap to Sean Laureiro has increased to 7 tenths. So now Josh Martin is hanging actually almost in the middle of these 2 cars. Let's see what's gonna happen in the race. So we're 2 minutes away from the opening of the pit window. I'll pass on my mic to Justin, because obviously enough I need to have a quick glass of water.
And one thing which is very good to mention is that now, as Adrian said, the pit window will be opening, and this will change everything. So it depends on what the drivers are going to do. Minimum they have to pit, obviously they have to pit in and do at least 1 liter of fuel minimum. So I don't know who might do a tire change or fuel, add extra fuel. We don't know what the strategies are for each team, so this will change everything. And I think, for example, for Josh Martin, who is in the middle of the pack, who was in front at the moment, at that time before, which obviously happened due to the accident, he went back at the grid. This will change everything for him if people, the other drivers, will do a tire change or something like that. That takes time in the pits. So we don't know what they're going to do. We'll see in a couple of minutes what the changes will be. Garrett Crawford is close again with to Jason Usmeyer, and closely followed by Daniel Stremer, who is doing quite a very good race and very consistent race, along with obviously Garrett Crawford and Jason Usmeyer, who are leading the team challenge at the moment by RPM Sim Racing. Garrett Crawford is taking over, and probably not, because Jason Usmeyer did not, and exactly Garrett Crawford took the lead and is in first position. Jason Absmeyer is trying to take over, and also Daniel Stramer trying to take over also Garrett Crawford, but with the defense of Garrett Crawford, no one did pass. Pit window is opened and we have 10 minutes remaining of pit window, so from now onwards the drivers can enter into the pits and do their changes. They can do a minimum of 1 liter of fueling. In fact, Jason and Garrett Crawford went into the pits, and Daniel Stramer continued with the race, so we'll see after these pittings how the standings will remain.
You're very right. Now the pit window is open. Let's see who will be in. The leading drivers have already pitted. We see now Josh Martin, who's also close to his. We see Josh Martin close to his teammate Luca Pecklai, and Sean Laureiro is 4 seconds back. Something has happened there for Sean, losing so much ground on Josh Martin.
Yes, actually, while I was viewing the race, I saw Sean going off track and went into the gravel. So yes, something happened for sure.
Yep, something happened there. I need to make a note to see if it was just an off track on his own.
No, it was an off track. He was on his own.
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
So we don't need to take note of that.
Yes, so we can watch
for a review. So it was a mistake from Sean Laureiro that made him lose ground on Josh Martin. We see Josh Martin now challenging his teammate Luca Pecklai. It has been a long battle between these two drivers. We saw Josh Martin flashing his lights for several times to his teammate, but definitely I don't think his teammate will be letting off so easily. It's still a team challenge, so it has to be a team effort for the whole team to grab points in this race. So we see now Daniel Stramer, who's in first place because Garrett Crawford and Jason Absmeyer pitted, and we see that now Jason Absmeyer is ahead of Garrett Crawford when they are out of pits. We'll see the different strategies by the different drivers. Daniel Stramer and the rest of the drivers remained out. Let's see who will be pitting next. So we have only 2 drivers who have pitted, which are Jason Absmeyer and Garrett Crawford. And Garrett Crawford was actually leading the race before he went into the pits, but now we see that Jason Absmeyer is ahead of Garrett Crawford. Now we see just Jason Absmeyer having to take it up with the Aussie stick, obviously slowing him possibly down and making Garrett Crawford gain some ground. In fact, Garrett Crawford was 8/10 from Jason Absmeyer, and now he's down to 5/10 gap. So there he goes. We see still the Aussie stick not giving up on this overtake. We see Jason Absmeyer now went through, and we see that Garrett Crawford now he's behind the Aussie stick, Mark Puck, and now it's the next move will be from Garrett Crawford to take his place from the 8th place from the Aussie stick. Garrett Crawford closing up on the Aussie stick. Obviously, like this, Garrett Crawford is definitely losing ground, because possibly he's being slowed down by the Aussie stick, who's a slower possible driver than he is. So Jason Absmeyer now he's taking up this opportunity. We see there still Garrett behind the Aussie stick, and now we see Garrett Crawford taking up the position. There was a slight touch, possibly due to a mistake from the Aussie stick, and we see that the Aussie stick is out on the gravel now and obviously losing positions. So, standings right now, we see now that Josh Martin and Sean Laureiro are in the pits. But the standings right now, we see Daniel Stramer taking the lead still of the race. He didn't pit yet. we see Leslie Oliphant in second place, Terence Grech in third place, Luca Pekla in fourth, Omar Barbara in fifth, Jason Upsmeyer sixth, Garrett Crawford seventh, Josh Martin eighth, and Sean Laureiro ninth. Sean Laureiro still in the pits. And now we see they are out, so actually they still kept the positions as shown here, as Josh is ahead of Sean Laureiro after the pit stop. So we have like now another 4.5 minutes of pit window, so we'll see now the remaining drivers, what strategies they're on, and when they were gonna pit, and what fuel or tire change they will make. And we'll see following all the pit stops. And there we see Daniel Stramer, who was the current leader of the race, doing his pit stop. We saw also Theodoris Kaporniotis, who's in pit. Let's see now in which position Daniel Stramer will go out following this pit stop.
It seems that they are not doing just 1 liter of fuel as we instructed them, which is the minimum thing that they have to do. In fact, it means that they are refueling or changing tires.
That's right, obviously from the time they're taking in the pits, that's what it looks like. Daniel Stramer now, he's on his way out. Let's see if he'll manage to keep the lead on Garrett Crawford and Jason Upsmeyer. I think it's almost there. And Daniel Stramer and that was very, very close with Jason Upsmeyer.
At least he managed to get 1 place.
Yeah, he managed to gain 1 position. As we can see, he's now a sandwich between Jason Upsmeyer and Garrett Crawford. So the 3 leaders of the race are now there. You see that actually Daniel Stramer is getting very close now to Jason Upsmeyer and also Garrett Crawford. So let's see this challenge between these drivers, top 3 drivers right now on the grid, actually from those that competed. So Daniel Stramer going close to Jason Upsmeyer. Let's see when he will make his move, and if he will make it on Jason Upsmeyer. We also wait for the other drivers to go in, as now we have 2 minutes 15 seconds left from this pit window. But it's great to see this tight challenge between these 3 drivers, actually the top 3 drivers right now who have pitted. We have now Leslie Oliphant and Luca Pekla also in the pits. Josh Martin is up close to Speed Force Sim Racer. Daniel Stramer very close to Jason Upsmeyer. Let's see, Josh Martin actually managed to take the place, 8th place from Speed Force Sim Racer. Great, these 3 drivers on the tail of Daniel Stramer. So it's a very, very close, tight challenge between these 3 drivers, which will be obviously the first 3 drivers following the pitting of Terence Grech, I think. Let's put it this way. We see these leaders up very close to each other. We see chasing up Daniel Stramer, trying his move on Jason Upsmeyer. I'm actually getting excited myself. It's a nice tight battle. We see now obviously there is one of the Greek drivers who's being left, which actually is Theodoris Kaporniotis, who did the best thing he could do. He just put on the side and left these 3 drivers pass through. We see them very up close to each other. Let's see this challenge between them, how it's gonna end up. We see now Daniel Stramer trying his move on Jason Upsmeyer. We see also Garrett Crawford very close to Daniel. It's a great battle to see. We see Luca Peclai now taking over, trying to take over Speed for Sim Racer. Garrett Crawford on the tail of Daniel Absmeyer. Oh, Daniel Stramer, I'm confusing actually the names. So, pit window is closed and I think Terence Gregg didn't pit. Am I right?
I didn't see Terence pitting. And even Omar did pit, Omar?
I don't think
If they did not pit, obviously they're going to be, in fact, Speed for Sim Racer disconnected from the server. And the reason is because he did not pit. And if any other drivers who did not pit, they are going to be disconnected as well.
And we see now Garrett Crawford up with Daniel Stramer. Let's follow this battle. Daniel Stramer very close to Jason Absmeyer. Great driving from these three drivers today. We see now Garrett Crawford very, very close to Daniel Stramer. Funnily enough, I don't know why Terence Gregg is still out there. Maybe he pitted and we didn't notice that. We can check that after the race. But we see now that Jason Absmeyer. We have Terence Gregg in the lead, Jason Absmeyer second place, Daniel Stramer third, Garrett Crawford fourth place, Leslie Oliphant 5th place, Omar Barbara 6th place, Josh Martin 7th place, Luca Peclai 8th place, Sean Laureiro 9th, Mark Pacos is 10th, 11th, George Memphis and Theodoros Kakouniakis in 12th place. But it's great to now see this tight challenge where we have Garrett Crawford very, very close now to Daniel Stramer. He's gonna try the move on Daniel just now. There we see them side by side. Let's see who will have the heads up in this corner here, and we'll see that there was a touch between them. Unfortunately, it's something that I'll have to review after the race. Actually, I follow the driving lines from obviously way above.
Daniel waited for him, in fact, that he let him pass again.
Yeah, that's right. So it was a great move by Daniel, understanding that he could have caused this collision. So hands up to Daniel Stramer for this move. So, Terence Gregg is the lead of this race, followed by Jason Absmeyer, Leslie Oliphant, Garrett Crawford and Daniel Stramer, Omar Barbara, Josh Martin, Luca Peclai, Sean Laureiro. I'm Dios Stig, Mark Puck, George Memphis, Theodoros Kakouniakis. So, we have now Terence Gregg in the lead of this race, followed by Jason Absmeyer, Leslie Oliphant, Garrett Crawford, Daniel Stramer, Omar Barbara, Josh Martin, Luca Peclai, Sean Laureiro. I'm Dios Stig, George Memphis and Theodoros Kakouniakis. We saw a touch between Daniel Stramer and Garrett Crawford earlier on, where then we saw Daniel Stramer Straymer, giving back his place, the position to Gareth Crawford. That was a very, very clean move, obviously, on track for this possible touch and collision that Daniel Straymer caused on Gareth Crawford. So, Terence Gregg leading this race, followed by Jason Upsmeyer, Leslie Oliphant, who's now getting up close to Jason Upsmeyer. 4th place, Gareth Crawford. 5th place, Daniel Straymer. 6th place, Omar Barbara. 7th, Josh Martin. Luca Peclay in 8th, Sean Laureiro. 9th, 10th, Mark Pagdiosistig. 11th, George Nampis. And 12th, Theodoris Kaponiotis. We have 18 minutes left now in this race. Definitely we have some incidents, not accidents actually, incidents that we need to review after the race, because we couldn't review them during the race, unfortunately, due to some technical damages we sustained due to a thunderstorm earlier on this week here in Malta. So we see now Leslie Oliphant closing up on Jason Upsmeyer and Daniel Straymer with Gareth Crawford. We see them here side by side. Let's see. In this corner, obviously enough, Daniel Straymer had to back up. He was on the outside of the corner. Let's see this close battle between Daniel Straymer and Gareth Crawford, and we see also Leslie Oliphant on Jason Upsmeyer. Leslie Oliphant managed to take the position from Jason Upsmeyer, so Leslie Oliphant now in 2nd place, 3rd place Jason Upsmeyer, 4th Gareth Crawford, 5th Daniel Straymer. So we're seeing that there are quite a few overtakings in this race. Definitely an exciting race between these drivers. 12 of them left during 12 of them left racing from this race, as one of the drivers was disconnected, actually, I think, put out from the server during pitting. So Leslie Oliphant now, who's 4 seconds away from Terence Gregg. Then we have Jason Upsmeyer, who's 1 second away from Leslie Oliphant. Gareth Crawford, which is 2 seconds away from Jason Upsmeyer, 2.2 seconds. Daniel Straymer, which is now approximately 8 tenths of Gareth Crawford. And then we see Omar Barbara, which is 10 seconds away from Daniel Straymer. So Terence Gregg leading the race, followed by Leslie Oliphant and Jason Upsmeyer. Josh Martin getting up close to Omar Barbara now. 3 tenths, 2 tenths. Let's see. Between these two drivers, actually 2 incidents that happened earlier on was between these two drivers. Let's hope there won't be a third. Let's see this close battle between Josh Martin and Omar Barbara once again during this GT2 challenge by World Pro Racing Team Challenge, special event for teams this October. There we see now Josh Martin. He's on the outside, obviously enough. He needs to give a little bit of space, but now he's in the advantage because he's on the inside, and that is right. he manages to grab the 6th place from Omar Barbara. A great move now by Josh Martin, and obviously enough, unfortunately, Omar Barbara didn't manage to keep up to the pressure from Josh Martin. So now Josh Martin is 6th place. So, Terence Gregg, GT Omega RPM Esport 1 in the lead, followed Les the Elephant from Secured RP Metcape team, and Jason Upsmeyer, which is his teammate in this challenge of today. 4th place, Garrett Crawford from Simtech RPM Sim Racing. 5th place, Daniel Stramer, who's actually GT Omega RPM Esport 1 team together with Terence Gregg. Then we have Josh Martin from V-Racer and Trustmaster team, followed by Omar Barbara, who's alone today on GT Omega RPM Esport 2 team because his teammate couldn't join. Then we have Luca Peklai, who's the teammate of Josh Martin from V-Racer and Trustmaster team. Sean Laureiro, teammate with Garrett Crawford from Simtech RPM Sim Racing. And then we have Diossi Stig and George Namphis from the same team, which are I'm Diossi Stig from the Diossi Stig Racing team. Then we have George Namphis and Theodore Kaponiotis from BCR team. Unfortunately, we saw Wayne Francis, the teammate of Diossi Stig, being thrown out from the server due to lack of betting. So we see now Daniel Stramer closing up to Garrett Crawford again. It has been an ongoing battle in various periods of this race between these two drivers. Daniel Stramer now going on the attack, but he needs to back up because he's on the outside. And let's see now, he's keeping up very, very close with Garrett and trying to prepare his next move to try and take the 4th place from Garrett. Daniel Stramer up close to Garrett Crawford. We see that he backs a little bit up now, but he won't give up, and we saw him there grabbing some grass, thus making him lose time on Garrett Crawford. So we have now Garrett Crawford. We have some breathing space due to that wide corner from Daniel Stramer. Terence Gregg in the lead, Leslie Oliphant 2nd place, 3rd place Jason Upsmeyer, 4th place Garrett Crawford, 5th place Daniel Stramer, 6th place Josh Martin. You see now can have some close battles up front between Leslie Oliphant actually is closing up very much on Terence Gregg. Jason Upsmeyer is up close, same gap to Leslie Oliphant. Garrett Crawford, who's like 3.5 seconds away from Jason, and Daniel Stramer, who's a second away now from Garrett Crawford. Those are the top drivers in this GT2 team challenge by World Pro Racing. Here at the Mugello circuit, we would like to thank obviously our sponsors. This stream is powered by Melita. Thanks to GT Omega Racing and Textor Limited. Thanks also to Gaming Malta for offering us support. So we see that now Leslie Oliphant is gonna go on Terence Gregg. Very up close, definitely in slipstream. He's gonna make the move on Terence. Let's see if he backs up, because he's on the outside here. Terence Gregg defends this corner, but Leslie Oliphant now takes the lead of this race from Terence Gregg. So Leslie Oliphant now is the leader of the race of this GT2 team challenge by World Pro Racing here at Mugello Circuit. Let's see now, Jason Upsmeyer closing up also on Terence Gregg. So also after the race we'll be having a look in the 10-minute pit window to see that all drivers still racing have pitted. But now we'll see that Jason Upsmeyer is closing up on Terence Gregg. And we see also Daniel Stramer closing up again on Garrett Crawford. So Leslie Oliphant is now in the lead. Terence Gregg is in second place with Jason Upsmeyer up close with Terence Gregg. We saw a slight move there from the car. Side by side, Jason Upsmeyer now attacking Terence Gregg. You see them once again side by side. Jason Upsmeyer has to give a little bit up because he was on the outside of the corner. So that gives him a slight disadvantage. Let's see once again now Jason Upsmeyer closing up on Terence Gregg. He's just waiting for the right moment to make the move. Actually we're seeing Terence Gregg doing much slower laps now, so we see now Jason Upsmeyer up close on Terence Gregg. And at the back we can see also Daniel Stramer closing up on Garrett Crawford. And then we have Josh Martin in 6th place. Now we see Jason Upsmeyer waiting for the right time to make the move on Terence Gregg. Terence Gregg also not giving up. Not giving up to the pressure by Jason. There he is, Jason going side by side with Terence Gregg. Up the straight together. Let's see if Jason Upsmeyer takes up. You see some late braking from Terence Gregg. Terence Gregg hard braking there, but Terence Gregg manages to keep the lead. But now possibly Jason Upsmeyer has the up. No, Terence Gregg defended quite great here, so Jason Upsmeyer is having a hard time going past Terence Gregg. Obviously not giving that. See also Daniel Stramer, who's like a half a second away now from Garrett Crawford. Garrett Crawford and Daniel Stramer obviously taking also advantage from this battle between Terence Gregg and Jason Upsmeyer. Terence Gregg defending quite well from Jason, even though I think he's making slower laps. And you see one of the Greek drivers who's off the track, or possibly went off track on purpose to let the leaders pass. Always a nice clean race from our friends from Greece, DCR Team Greece. Garrett Crawford and Daniel Stramer behind him. Leslie Oliphant on the lead. Terence Gregg, second place. Jason Afsmaya. Where we have now Terence Gregg could breathe a little bit. Because Jason Afsmaya is 4 tenths away. But not giving up on Terence Gregg, definitely. We see that Jason Afsmaya is definitely in slipstream now on Terence Gregg. Trying to make the move on the outside. Obviously enough, Terence Gregg has the hands up on the inside. Once again, Jason Afsmaya has to back up. Terence Gregg defending actually quite greatly this attack from Jason Afsmaya. Obviously Garrett Crawford and Daniel Stramer are happy with this battle, tied battle between Terence Gregg and Jason Afsmaya, because they're slowly gaining ground on them. That's giving them also the possibility to challenge for the podium. And we see now that the gap between Garrett Crawford and Jason Afsmaya has gone down to 7 tenths or 6 tenths of a second. Very, very close now, Garrett Crawford to Jason Afsmaya. Possibly Jason Afsmaya has done a slight mistake. Daniel Stramer now also very close to Garrett Crawford. Great battles here up front in the first couple of positions from 2nd to 5th place actually. We have Jason Afsmaya challenging him for 7th place. Daniel Stramer now challenging Garrett Crawford for 4th place. Garrett Crawford getting quite near to Jason Afsmaya. So we have also Sean Laureiro going quite near to Luke Pecchia. Daniel Stramer now on Garrett Crawford, and there was a slight touch between them there. Let's see now, Daniel Stramer has the heads up here. Daniel Stramer, he managed to snatch 4th place from the Garrett Crawford. Jason Afsmaya up close to Terence Gregg once more. So now we have Daniel Stramer in 4th place, Garrett Crawford in 5th, not giving up on Daniel Stramer. Garrett Crawford is again took his place from Daniel Stramer, as I can see at the back. So Garrett Crawford possibly now running in 4th position again. Yes, that's right. So Jason Afsmaya up close again to Terence Gregg. Garrett Crawford managed to get his 4th place back from Daniel Stramer. Actually now Daniel Stramer also losing ground possibly to a mistake. But we see, as we saw earlier, Terence Gregg defending his 2nd position. Very good from Jason Afsmaya, who's actually now up his behind. There we see them side by side on the straight. Let's see what's gonna happen in the coming corner. Jason Afsmaya up front from Terence Gregg. Terence Gregg not giving up. And there they go again. Terence Gregg keeping his 2nd place here. Great driving actually from these two drivers. And there was a slight touch, unfortunately, from Jason Afsmaya and Terence Gregg, making Jason lose position. Unfortunately, we saw Jason Afsmaya losing places there. As we could see here, it was like a possible slight touch, which is actually possibly permitted, but we have also our half doubt that it was a auto spin. So 21 seconds left, 20 seconds left. So Leslie Oliphant on the lead, Terence Grech in 10th place, Garrett Crawford 3rd place, Daniel Stramer 4th place, Jason Upsmeyer 5th place, Josh Martin 6th place. And here we see the leader of the race, Leslie Oliphant, who will finish this race. Time is up. So here we see Leslie Oliphant on the final lap. We see also Josh Martin very close to Jason Upsmeyer. Jason Upsmeyer from 3rd place down to 5th place due to a spin in the last actually. And there we see Josh Martin. Yeah, Josh Martin took the 5th place from Jason Upsmeyer. And there we go. Terence Grech 2nd place. Daniel Stramer, Garrett Crawford 3rd place. Daniel Stramer 4th, Josh Martin 5th, Jason Upsmeyer 6th, Omar Barbara 7th. You see Omar Barbara now crossing the finish line. Luca Peklai 8th, Sean Laureiro 9th, and we saw some disconnections already from this area. So we need to go back. So Leslie Oliphant, Terence Grech and Garrett Crawford. Unofficial. So we have the unofficial result. Obviously enough, we need to review some incidents after the race, and obviously we'll be issuing the final result very soon. But we're gonna pass very soon to the interviews. So be with us shortly. Let's wait for all the drivers to finish this race, and then we'll pass to for the interviews with our top 3 drivers, which is obviously a temporary podium until we take our decisions for reviews of incidents after the race. So we're waiting for our last driver, who's Theodoros Kaponiotis, I think, to finish the race. So the race is over. Our provisional podium is gonna be soon with us. So we're going soon now to our interviews.
Oh, guys. Yeah.
So we're soon going for our interviews with our top 3 drivers. Unfortunately, I cannot find Leslie on Discord. Just ran away. So it seems that Leslie Oliphant unfortunately doesn't have a we're just waiting for our provisional. So we'll start with Terence Grech, as it seems as the Oliphant will be not joining us for the Terence. So So, Terence, give us a go through to this race from your qualifying and obviously the race of today. We need to check actually something that we need to check after the race if you actually pitted during the race or not, but read us through to your race of today.
I'm answering to the last question. Yeah, I pitted because I stayed with the same compound. I just had some fuel. Yeah, qualifying. Qualifying wasn't that great. Just I think started from 4th or 5th. But my strategy was to pit for only fuel, just to add 1 liter and stay with the same compound because I thought that's the best way. The half of the race when I pitted and when I went out. First of all, when I pitted, unfortunately, I did a mistake. I just went a bit through, so I had to reverse. So I just lost like 3 to 4 seconds there. And when I went out, it seems that I was about 7 seconds ahead from the guy behind me. But unfortunately, in the last laps, I was suffering a lot with the tires because, you know, I was like doing the whole race with the same compound. And yeah, Leslie was able to catch me. And then with who was Jason, it was a great battle in the last laps. We did like 5 laps battling each other, and it was great. And unfortunately, in the last lap, he spun there. And yeah, just managed to finish 2nd place. I'm happy with that.
So, yes, definitely a great race from your side, great defending. So, actually, this strategy managed to also give you the lead on other drivers to obviously stay ahead of the pack for quite a few chunk after you.
Yeah.
So, strategy does work. So, well done, Terence, for your 2nd place. So, 3rd place, we have with us here Garrett Craft. Hello, Garrett. Can you hear me? Garrett. And unfortunately, I don't think Garrett is hearing us here. He's typing a message, possibly has some technical issues also. And what did Garrett tell us? Nothing. So, Garrett doesn't have the mic connected, unfortunately. So, well done to Leslie Oliphant, Terence Gregg, Garrett Crawford, our provisional podium, because we'll be reviewing some incidents after the race, and we'll see from there. So, thank you for joining us today for this GT2 challenge, team challenge from World Pro Racing. We remind you, join us tomorrow evening for the final round of the Porsche Championship, and follow us also this weekend where we have something interesting, where we have the grip drivers, real drivers that drive in the real grip championship in Italy, doing a race with us online, and also their points will be valid for their real championship they're taking part of. So it's definitely something interesting this weekend. So join us, be with us here at World Pro Racing, and follow us Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and follow us for upcoming races and even special challenges coming up for November and our championships for 2019. Thank you for being with us. See you tomorrow here at World Pro Racing. Bye-bye from me and Justin.
Gigabit Internet issa f'Malta. Gawdi mill-Giga Power biss mal-Melita Flexi.